Business Manager, IBEW, Local 37.
You know, I look around here, I'm just so glad to see everybody here standing up for our utility. Yeah. I've been a member of the IBEW for 17 years. And you know something? We represent 400,000 workers in the power industry in North America, and we've looked at what's going on. And you want to know something? You know what works for a power utility? It works when it's owned by the people where they live. Exactly. Public power. I've been speaking out for 12 years now about keeping MB Power in the public hands. I came across something, and I'm not going to bore you, but I want to just read something. I want you to think, did I have my crystal ball going or not? This is from a presentation I made in 2001.
Into the mic.
This is from a presentation I made in 2001. I want you to listen to this. I said, and I quote, "We have spoken out against the secrecy that has overtaken the process and the lack of public consultation, and we're concerned about what we're hearing. The signals aren't encouraging. Our fear is that the government may be on the verge of making a very big mistake that will cost us dearly well into the future." We've been listening to the rhetoric of people like the Atlantic Institute for Market Studies and other big business interests who seem to be winning the day with their argument that we have to embrace deregulation or be left behind. And that we have to sell MB Power for a fire sale price of whatever anyone is willing to pay. And we had to sell it right away. They're saying that this would lead to lower rates for everybody. And our research showed quite clearly that this had never, ever, not even once, in any jurisdiction turned out to be the case. What inevitably happened was that the lower rates would only be for large industry, and everyone else got nailed hard, often with substantial increases. Now I want you to know, I said those words in 2001 in Bathurst, and do you know where I said them? At the MB Liberal Party's public consultations on the future of MB Power.
Shame! Shame!
Public consultations, and they came out with a report, and they said we will never, ever sell MB Power, ever.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Going further down.
Now I just want to say a few things. I want to say one thing, first of all. When they announced this MOU, I went up to Dalhousie to meet our members there, and I can tell you they were devastated. That community has been so hard hit in the last 3 and 4 years. The people that worked there, one of the last large employers, the town was devastated. They were shocked. It was awful. You cannot imagine what it was like for those people, or the people in that community, knowing that that plant was going to be shut down next June. That's just not right. Now we've gone through the MOU, and there's 4 reasons that we think that the government needs to scrap this deal. 1, the lack of clarity is unfair not only to our workers at Dalhousie, but also the people at Beldoon, Colson Cove, and everywhere else. 2nd, the lack of details. People in this province just do not know what our energy security is going to be going forward. There is no clarity in this. The MOU is full of uncertainty. The uncertainty of the rates after year 5. And by the way, none of your rates are going down. None of your rates are going down.
Reality!
None of you.
Sean's going down!
Sean's going down! Sean's going down! Sean's going down! Be gone! Sean's going down! Sean's going down! Sean's going down!
The fourth thing, the reason why we oppose this strongly, we think it needs to be scrapped. You know, the government is just not being upfront about the impact of MB Power's debt. It's being presented in a way that is trying to distort the truth. They are hiring firms. They're using your tax dollars to hire firms to promote propaganda, things that are not true. And you know, we've all been watching the news, and you've seen the Auditor General has come out. MB Power pays its own debt. The government has never paid a single cent down for the debt. They do their own debt. It's total falsehood. And you know, we can all remember when the members of the government talked about MB Power as the province's greatest asset. But that was before they decided to sell it. Then overnight, a 180-degree turn, and they're telling you that it is a millstone around the neck of this province. Well, I tell you, it's not a millstone around the neck of this province. It's the thing that's powered this province and allowed us to progress. not going to keep, there's other people that want to go, but I just want to say this. The people that have the power in this province are each and every one of you. That's right. You all have MLAs. You can all pick up the phone, you can call your MLA, and you can tell them this deal is just plain wrong. You want public power, you want power that's owned right here in New Brunswick, you should call your MLA up, you should write letters, and you'll probably get responses saying, well, it's what we got to do. Write them back again and say that you want a meeting. That's right. What do we want? Power! What kind of power? Power! What do we want? Power! What kind of power? Power! Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
3 o'clock.
Perfect. We got 2 more guests lined up. There's